Okay, this is a little weird. All right, guys. So I have this shit. Okay, so before I start the video, yeah, I'm whitening my teeth. It's fine. I look bummy. I don't even care. I'm aware that it's been a month. I'm aware that I've been taking so long to come out with this video. I originally said it was gonna come out on Saturday, and it's Tuesday now. So that's totally my bad, guys. So hopefully this is gonna make up for it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get to it.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Andre. So the number one question I think I have always gotten ever since I started YouTube like 3 or 4 years ago was, hey man, I like your videos. What kind of equipment should I buy? What kind of camera should I buy? Do I need these specs? Do I need this type of lens? Like all these other questions about filmmaking and videos, and I really want to help you guys out. So I finally sat down and I came up with 5 tips that I can give you guys to get started. Now, I know filmmaking can seem a little intimidating at first, and you don't really know where to get started. I know in the beginning I had a lot of questions. I didn't know really where to start. So hopefully this video can kind of push you forward and really take a look at what you want to do. Now, my first tip is going to be, you don't need a professional camera. I see so many people making this mistake. The first thing they do is, okay, I'm going to buy a Sony A7 or a Lumix GH5 or a Canon 5D, going for these really expensive cameras when they really don't know how a camera works. The first thing I'm going to tell you is you can make a film right now with the thing that's in your pocket, and that's your iPhone or your Android. You really don't need anything else besides that to get started. There was a time when I was making films strictly on my iPhone. I really wanted to push myself and see what I could do on this, and I did that for like 6 months. I started posting all my content on my Instagram page, and that's all I use. Now, it's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but there are applications that really help you out. One of these applications is called Filmmaking Pro. Now, this app is amazing if you want to get the groundwork for how to do filmmaking. Basically, this is going to help you control your aperture, the quality of video, the sound. You can monitor like a histogram to check the shadows and your highlights. You can control your focus, your zoom. You can record in 4K or slow-mo, or record in traditional 24 frames per second, which is like cinematic. You can choose the aspect ratio to which it's insane. There are so many like cool little features. You can play with the white balance, you can play with the coloring. It's awesome. So like I said, yeah, it costs money, but it's a much better investment. Something to go along with this is gonna be an editing software. Now, if you have a computer, you can simply just use iMovie, and there's also free iMovie on your iPhone. This is gonna get the job done. But if you wanna go into more of a professional application, my best advice is getting LumaFusion. I have been using this application for probably like the past 8 months, and it is amazing. It has so many features. In my opinion, it's so much better than iMovie. You have so much more control. It's a lot more like a realistic editing software that you have on your computer. Now, if you have a laptop and you have some money to spend, also, if you're a college student, this is great. I really recommend all the Adobe software. There's this thing called Adobe Cloud. You pay 50 bucks a month. If you're a student, you pay like 20 bucks a month, and you have access to Premiere, After Effects, Photoshop, Lightroom. Now, I know a lot of you guys might be a little skeptical and be like, what are you talking about? There's no way that you can make professional looking films with your iPhone. It hasn't been done. Well, actually it has. There's a bunch of films nowadays, and there's actually a trend going on where a lot of Hollywood directors wanted to shoot films on an iPhone. So I'm gonna leave down in the description some of the better looking iPhone films that were shot completely on an iPhone. And I will also throw in my films that I made as well, to show you what you can really do with your iPhone. Okay, so my second topic, it's not really gonna be about gear or what you should get, but really what you should focus on when making a film. And that is your story. Like Casey Neistat said,
Story. Story is all that matters. Story is golden.
Your story is by far the most important thing. There are Hollywood films such as the Justice League. They have high budgets, really experienced cast and crews with directors that have been doing this for years, and they have like months or even years to make these films, and they flop. In the Justice League, there wasn't really clear motives to each character or why they even formed in the first place. The villain was really weak, CGI, didn't really care too much about him. There wasn't such an urgency to save the world because we didn't really get to know his motives or why he was doing what he was doing. Now, if you compare that to Infinity War, that was an amazing film. In my opinion, I think that was one of the best Marvel films I have seen in a while. Thanos, incredible villain. You really get to know why he's doing what he's doing. It's a lot more complex. All these other characters are developed. We know what their stories are. They get individual stories. It's a much better experience once you really focus on your story. Now, like I said, Casey Neistat's video goes into a lot more depth into what story is and how to drive it better. So I'm gonna leave that in the description below. You guys should really check that video out. Okay, so for my tip number 3, upgrade your gear before your camera. I cannot stress this enough, guys. There's a lot of times where I've seen people go, oh, you know, I can't really shoot this scene because I don't have this camera body. I don't have the Sony A7 with the low light, or I don't have a Canon 5D to get more color in there. It really is about the gear. The gear will help you out immensely. The camera body and your lens can only do so much. If there's not enough light, like how I'm lighting my face right now and the background, your video is just gonna look absolutely dark. No camera will be able to fix something like lighting or audio or noise. So that's gonna drive the next question, which is gonna be, what kind of gear should I look into? What kind of gear should I buy? That's really gonna depend on your budget. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an Amazon list where you can get all the equipment for a low budget, mid budget, and high budget. This is gonna cover things like tripods, traveling gear, lighting, audio, editing software, all that. It's gonna be in the description, so you guys can go ahead and check out all of that. And it's really gonna give you a more understanding of how much money you need to invest and how much money you're comfortable actually investing into this. So my tip number 4, this is gonna come off a little corny, but you need to find people that share your passion. You need to find people that are gonna help you make films. So how do I find a crew? Well, the easiest way is just your friends. Ask your friends to be in your films, ask them to review your films, ask your friends to get into films. The next question would be going around your school. One of the things that I did to network was go to my counselor and ask to see if there was any programs for filmmaking. Now I'm gonna be honest, usually filmmaking classes in your high school aren't gonna be that advanced. What I would suggest is seeing if there are any technical options. For my school, there was this thing called Silicon Valley Career Technical Education. I think that's what it was called, the SVCT. And we worked with like $5,000 cameras, like the FS5. We had a state-of-the-art studio with lighting and green room. Now, if your school doesn't have that, and I'm sure a lot of schools don't, you can always go with the video production class or a film class, whatever your school may have. So for my 5th and final tip, it's gonna be broken down into 3 sections. That's gonna be learn, create, and collect. So the first section is gonna be learn. And this is go watch movies and analyze them. And what I mean is really pay attention to the scenery, the character motives, look at the props, look at the special effects. Analyzing movies in this manner is really gonna help you understand them better and see how much effort it goes into actually making a movie. Next thing you should do is definitely look at channels that really try to teach you everything there is about filmmaking. These are gonna be channels such as like Rocket Jump Film School, D4 Darius, DSLR Video Shooter. These are just some of the channels that really help you get a better understanding of filmmaking, and they're a great alternative to actually going to film school. Another great way to analyze films is gonna be watching film essays. These are really gonna help you analyze films. They go into detail into certain character plots and drives, and it's just watch film essays, go on YouTube, search up film essays. You'll get a better understanding of films that way. So the second section is gonna be create films. And I'm gonna stress this so heavily because it's so important. You can watch all the videos in the world, you can invest in a bunch of expensive gear, but if you don't actually practice making films, you're never gonna get the hang of it. It's like riding a bike. You gotta practice it, you gotta practice it. It's just how it goes. Okay, so you've done these 2 things, and now the last thing to do is collect. What I mean is collect data. Upload your video on YouTube, look at the comments, see what people think. Invite your friends over, put it on your flat screen TV, and just have like a screening with your friends, or take it to your school. If you're in a film class, showcase it to your film class, see what people think. The best way that you're gonna grow as a filmmaker is seeing what other people think of your film. So those were the 5 tips that I could come up with. Hopefully they answered some, if not all your questions. However, if they didn't, please leave them in the comments below. You can also message me on my social medias, and I will respond to everyone that asks me questions because I really want to help people get started. I think that it would have been really helpful for me in the beginning, so I just want to pass that on and hopefully pass some knowledge onto you guys. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please share this video with anyone that's interested. Also like it and tell me what you liked about this video, and I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day, guys.
The world is so small, till it ain't, till it ain't, till it ain't, till it ain't. I'm building up a wall, till it break, till it break, till it break, till it break. She hate it when I call, and it's late, and it's late, and it's late. I don't wanna keep you waiting. I hope I never keep you waiting.